Hello and welcome to Maestro Meadows' The Career Conductor's Resume Series. Even though resumes are really hard to put together and there's different opinions on how you should structure it, first I want to go over a few general principles that apply to any resume that you put together for any company that you're applying for. The first principle is clarity. Whatever you do on your resume, it has to be clear. The job you held has to be clear, the length of time has to be clear. It has to be clear to someone who doesn't know you that they understand exactly what you've done and what you're trying to communicate with them in the resume. So there's a lot of different things that may come up. You might have a complicated work history. You want to show that you had different positions within the same company. So there's a lot of scenarios that might come up. But the key is clarity. So the best way to figure out to do it is do it several ways. Every way is going to be clear to you because you're the one putting it together. But try different ways, print it out, and show it to several different people. Which one is the most clear? Ask another person. Which one is the most clear? Ask another person. Which one is the most clear? And really, majority rules. Whatever the majority says is the most clear is the way you should probably put it together. Because if it's clear to them, it will probably be clear to the person who's putting it together. The second principle is a good representation of yourself. They should be able to read your resume and get a sense of who you are and what you've accomplished in your career. It should not be a good representation of anyone who held the same job title that you held. But how did you do it specifically? The third principle is your resume should be targeted to the position that you're applying for. That's right. You need a different resume for every position that you apply to because it should be targeted for that job because every company and every position is looking for a unique skill set. So you want to make sure you target what you have as it relates to that specific job that you're applying for. So that might mean that you put together fewer resumes because they do take more time, but you're going to have a higher percentage of interviews if you take the time to target it. Look at the job description, and in future videos I'll show you how to do this specifically, but speak to the job description and speak to what the company is looking for, however you can find that out. The fourth principle is relevant to the job. There's not a lot of room on a resume, so you want to make sure that all the information you put is directly related and shows your value as it applies to that job that you're wanting to get. So make sure that the projects, the achievements, and the different things you put on your resume are things that speak directly to somebody who will be working in that position you're applying to. You may have accomplished some really good things and some things that you're really proud of, but if they're things that aren't really addressed in this job that you're applying for, leave it off. The fifth principle is not generic. You want to make sure that you shine through on your resume. You want to make sure that the resume that you submit doesn't apply to anybody else because it's yours. I've seen so many resumes that are generic, and I couldn't tell what they were trying to get across, and I could take that resume and really apply it to anybody who had the same job title, and it would be true. You want your resume to only be true to you. If you follow these 5 general principles, that will give you your best chance of being noticed and your best chance of getting an interview for that dream job that you're applying for.